Good morning and welcome to the news. The headlines. Nigerians react to postponement of dates of general elections, express reservations over new dates. Business premises in Oka record low turnout after postponement of elections. INEC insists postponement was caused by logistics and not politically motivated. Texas landowners sued Trump's administration over national emergency declaration. Good morning and welcome to the news. My name is Ifi Onachukwu, and now the news in details. Many Nigerians have expressed shock and chided the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, over the postponement of the 2019 general elections barely few hours to the polling hour. In this report, correspondent Emmanuel Chibata went round the capital city of Oka to ascertain people's reactions.
The presidential and national assembly elections, which were scheduled to hold today, were shifted to 23rd of this month, while the governorship and state house of assembly elections were also shifted to 9th of March. Bearing in mind, a teacher at Anambra University High School, Oka, Mr. Patrick Chukwuma, considered INEC's actions as uncalled for, considering the time of the postponement, adding that since the amalgamation of Nigeria, no general election has been shifted on the day it was scheduled to take place. A food vendor at Aroma Junction, Oka, Mrs. Ifoma Ugochukwu, said she felt highly disappointed over the election shift, of which she noted has denied people access to their businesses.
They should sit up, yes, and tell us the truth. Cancel the election.
On his part, an industrialist, Mr. Stephen Okenwa, explained that if INEC could not prepare for election in 4 years, how could they be ready in just 1 week? Noting that the postponement has made people to lose interest in the election.
Cancelling it in a short space of time, so we are beginning to lose the interest in the whole process. We don't know what's actually happening.
Mr. Edmond Okeke, a retired civil servant and a trader in Oka, Mr. Okafor Edwin, said the postponement took everybody by surprise, as many have prepared their minds to exercise their civic responsibilities.
Because it's part of taste on me. I was supposed to do the general election so that we know where we stand. We know our stand. That's what I have to say. I'm not happy at all.
They said the cancellation was an opportunity for the election to be rigged. In Oka, Emmanuel Chibata, ABS News.
As voters continue to recover from the shock of the 11th hour postponement of Nigeria's general election, businesses around the state capital territory, Oka, showed mild response to the development. Most districts and squares in the state capital, which before now boasted of a heavy business, human and vehicular presence, looked almost non-eventful. Correspondent Daniel Ezigwe took a tour of the situation in Oka and environs and now completes this report.
Early morning bombshell by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Nigeria's electoral umpire, that the elections have been postponed by a week, took the Nigerian voters who had made keen preparations for the polls by huge surprise. Though there has been a slow tide in the movement of vehicles along the major roads of the city, shops and markets have had to make emergency back turn to market their wares and eke out something from the disappointed day. Ekoka, the city's largest and busiest market, had traders clustered in unusually low numbers at the market's edges and entrances, an occurrence Mr. Okechukwu Chukura, a trader and registered voter, described as channeling the disappointing energy into usefulness.
Know that Anambra people are resilient people. They are not people who will wait for you to pocket them. They want to use chances and opportunity. And one thing I'm sure is that the information flowed on time. So a lot of people really are seeing the election as if it's already scammed. So they said after all, they know they was going to rig or something like that. There are various opinions. But you can see, they are all here out instead of being at home, being unuseful to themselves. They want to guess and see the chances of making sales today. Well, it's picking up, but very disappointing.
However, for Mrs. Esther Ozoro, also a prospective voter, the postponement, however shocking, should not stop people from going about their usual business lives, but said she has lost interest in the electoral process.
You can see the business is not booming as supposed now. It's still a bit scanty than expected. And so now some people just relaxed at home. Someone like me, I don't even think I will come out the next time. Because it looks like they are making jest of us, we the citizens of Nigeria. I don't think I will come out next time.
In Oka, Daniel Ezigwe, ABS News.
The second phase of a program aimed at enhancing literacy and improving reading culture in the state was recently unveiled by Governor Willie Obiano. It features the distribution of books to both public and private schools, including higher institutions of learning, community libraries, and reading hubs. Theophilus Okoha has the details.
To enhance education in the state is gathering a boost today as he's actually distributing materials that will enhance reading and learning in education today. So let's see how it unfolds as the distribution commences. Speaking during the event, which took place at the Community Education Center, Puno, in Oka South local government area, the Commissioner for Basic Education, Professor Kate Omenuga, said the unique feature of the second phase was the inauguration of reading hubs in all communities across the state, with particular attention to educationally disadvantaged areas. Professor Omenuga, who enumerated the various dividends already yielded as a result of the program, said the ministry, in collaboration with Bring It on Africa, is currently embarking on Governor's School Debate Championship, which the representative of Anambra State will be selected for a debate championship in Sri Lanka.
We started this in 2014. 2015, Reading Association of Nigeria came in and started helping us to expand the frontiers of literacy. We did the Literacy Festival. Recall that I just came back last week from the Education World Forum in London, and there we were taught all these things. We shared the experiences from other communities, the creation of reading hubs and reading champions and reading ambassadors. And I said, I'm going to come to Anambra State and make sure that this thing works, like we were told to do that.
In an interview, the chairman, Post-Primary School Service Commission, Mrs. Ifeoma Caro, and chairman, State Universal Basic Education Board, Chief Patrick Obaja, promised to ensure that the platform curated to enhance reading culture remains aglow.
I will make sure that my office monitors such reading culture in our schools through the principals and the HMs. That our students will be given time, maybe once, in fact, it should be in the timetable. That they should be given about, like, say, 1 period or 2 periods, whereby everybody will pick up a book and read.
Kodike has been emphasizing on this reading culture and the literacy campaign. And this time around, the Honorable Commissioner for Education is a woman of a lot of ideas and innovations. And she's coming up with this now. And the ASUBEB is keying into this program by mobilizing the education secretaries in our different local governments. These are going to be our foot soldiers.
In their separate reactions, the Chairman Board of Trustees of the Readers Association of Nigeria, Professor Chukwuma Onokalgo, and State Chairman Association of Private Schools Owners, Mr. Solomon Wamanyo, commended the state government's commitment to enhancing literacy and improving reading culture in the state and called for its sustenance. Over 1 million books were distributed to community libraries, public schools, colleges of education, polytechnics, teaching hospitals, private and mission schools, while laptops were given to education management information system officers in the 21 local government areas in the state during the ceremony. Theophilus Okoha reporting.
Youths have been advised to always sue for peace, even when they are right, as it is the only way to live harmoniously with their neighbors. A university don, Professor Harris Iko Dumegu, gave the advice while delivering a lecture during a one-day workshop held for youths from various communities that make up Anambra East Council area on Achieving Peace in Anambra East, organized by Chizoba Mutigwe Peace Initiative. Correspondent Ngozo Bileri covered the workshop, which took place at Umueri Recreation Club Hall, Umueri, and now reports.
Mego, who spoke on the theme, Why Peace?, traced the definition and meaning of peace from Christianity, Islam, African, Western and Asian leaders' point of view, and said that youths, as agents of change, should always tow the path of peace, which must come from within, in order to engender peace in the larger society.
Despite these difficulties, it is still important and valuable that we talk about peace, that we listen to peace, that we learn about peace, that we understand peace.
A community leader in Umweri, who is also an academic, Professor Ogugwa Ibeze, while commending the convener for the initiative, which she said is needed in all facets of life, charged youths to always tow the path of peace for them to be successful in life.
That peace is the only way, and he's not alone in it. We went through the Bible, he led us through that, we saw peace being emphasized to the extent that those who strive for peace will be called the children of God.
Earlier in an address, the chairman on the occasion and the director, Media and Communication, Southeast Governors Forum, Chief Mike Oda, said that the event is apt and important towards the growth and development of every society, especially in Anambra East Council area, being the local government origin of the convener.
I believe fervently that this workshop can meaningfully tackle the challenges posed by these and other crises within the Anambra East Council area.
In a speech, the convener, Ambassador Chizoba Amuti-Igwe, who said that the need to organize such program was in fulfillment of his promise when he was recently given an award as Ambassador of Peace, where he pledged to preach peace wherever he is. He urged all youths to embrace peace for a better and secure future. The event was attended by students from communities in the council area, youths and parents. From Umweri, in Anambra East Council area, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
Traders at Onitsha Odepe Plastic Market closed shops recently for their New Year opening prayer. The prayer held at the market garage, conducted by Reverend Father Emmanuel Obiima, featured blessing of the land and prayers for the traders. Details from our studios.
Onitsha Odepe Plastic Dealers Multipurpose Cooperative Society, Honorable Obinna Okoli. The opening of the New Year prayer was organized to thank God for their life and all he has been doing for the traders.
In
his message, the founder, Holy Ghost Adoration Ministry UK, Reverend Father Emmanuel Obiima, said God will bring back his glory to the life of his faithful by bringing back the original plan of God in their lives.
Business in
One of the patrons of the union, Chief Joaquin Wokedike, praised God for making it possible for a priest like Reverend Father Obiima to visit their market for prayers, pointing out that their market will witness God's glory, and paid tribute to their executive officers for their foresight. In their separate remarks, the Vice President of the Union, Mr. Ikechukwu Ewenike, Secretary Mr. Celestine Meto, Financial Secretary Mr. Celestine Ifebi, and an ex-official member, Mr. Paul Williams, noted that everybody was happy with the prayer session and enjoined all to do their best, trusting God for breakthroughs in their lives and business activities. The event featured prayers and the official opening of the new ultra-modern toilet facilities renovated by Honorable Obinna Okoli-led administration. From Onitsha, Njide Ezonyejak reporting for ABS News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has provided more details to the postponement of the presidential and National Assembly elections, which were supposed to hold today, and the consequential adjustments of the gubernatorial elections. The chairman, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, made the clarifications while addressing major stakeholders at the International Conference Center, Abuja. The INEC boss insisted that the postponement were geared by weather and logistics and was not politically motivated or for any security reasons. He stated that the challenges facing the INEC include the redeployment of materials and proper audit of sensitive materials to ensure that the process remains free and fair. Going further, he regretted the number of court cases being faced by the Commission, including over 600 court cases and over 40 court orders, most served at the late hours of the elections. Party stakeholders at the meeting asked to make inputs in the new date, as they were also affected by the new propositions. The INEC boss had met with former heads of state of the country before the meeting. Financial experts have said the hasty postponement of the general elections by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, would create uncertainty and affect inflow of foreign investments. They told newsmen in separate interviews in Lagos that the hasty postponement a few hours to the presidential and National Assembly elections was not good for the economy and investors' confidence. Professor Sherif Dean Taylor, Professor of Economics, Olabisi Onabanjo University, Agoiwoye, Ogun State, said the development would create unnecessary uncertainty in the economy and affect inflow of foreign investment. Taylor said the country's inability to stabilize election processes 20 years after would affect the way foreign investors perceived Nigeria. Also speaking, Mr. Ambrose Omodion said the postponement of the elections showed that the government and INEC were not prepared. Omodion said the postponement a few minutes to the election day would further slow down economic activities and as well cause cautious trading in the nation's bills. 3 Texas landowners and an environmental group have filed the first lawsuit challenging President Donald Trump's national emergency declaration aimed at freeing up billions of dollars to build a wall against the U.S. border with Mexico. Consumer advocacy group Public Citizen has said the lawsuit brought in federal court in the District of Columbia claims the South Texas landowners were told by the U.S. government that it would seek to build a border wall on their properties if money for the project was available in 2019, according to a press release from PC. 3 of the plaintiffs on the lawsuit are private citizens in Texas Stars County, which was home to roughly 65,000 people in 2017. The 4th plaintiff is the Frontier Audubon Society, a 6-hectare non-profit that acts as a haven for birds, butterflies, and other wildlife. All the plaintiffs claim the wall would deny them access to their land. Trump declared a national emergency on Friday after Congress passed a spending deal to keep the government open that did not include funding for a border wall. A national emergency, if not blocked by the court or Congress, would allow Trump to dip into funds politicians had approved for other purposes to build a border wall. Mesut Ozil must decide whether he wants to be part of Arsenal's long-term future after being left out for the 100th time in his Gunners career, according to former defender Martin Cohen. The former Germany international has started just 1 match in 2019 due to a back injury and illness, which kept him out for the weekend Premier League win over Huddersfield. Manager Unai Emery has even left Ozil out on tactical grounds and opted not to take him to last 32 first leg in Belarus in Europa League due to being unable to train fully amidst his illness. Ozil's run on the peripheral caps a torrid 12 months since he signed a new £350,000 a week contract, keeping him at the Emirates Stadium until 2021. And Keown, who won 12 major honors across 12 sports at Arsenal, is not buying the excuses behind his continued omission. And now to end the news, do remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS 88.5 FM from any part of the world by logging onto our website www.absradiotv.com. Like us at www.facebook.com/ABS Radio Television. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. And now a recap of the main points. Nigerians have reacted to the postponement of dates of general elections, expressing reservations over the new dates. Business premises in Awka have recorded low turnout after postponement of elections. INEC has insisted postponement was caused by logistics and not politically motivated. Texas landowners have sued Trump administration over national emergency declaration. That's the news this morning. My name is Efi Onachukwu. Thanks a lot for joining us. Good morning.